thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. What is going on? As you come on in, no, excuse me, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space of learning and getting learned up. Know that this is a space of educating and being educated. Know that this is a space of questions, answers, dialogue, speaking, listening. This is a space of love. This is a space where we seek solutions, all on a path to true liberation. Yes, indeed. As my classroom assistants come on in, please make sure all funding information is in the chat for the duration of class. Please make sure all contact information is in the chat for the duration of the class. If you, and I mean you, or anybody you know, is in need of anger management assistance, please reach out. If you believe that you need anger management, please reach out, book an assessment. If you don't believe you need anger management, book an assessment. If you or anybody you know is in a domestic violence situation, please book an assessment. Learn the signs, learn the warning signals, and learn the strategies that you can use to not only survive but thrive if you were in a domestic violence situation. Do you understand? No. No, Mr. Mac. For some reason, this has become part of my allergy. I don't care what kind of tea, I don't care what kind of cinnamon or raw honey, I don't care what holistic remedy I've tried. It is just some irritating, it's just a thing now. Okay? And I'm just making sure that I deal with it as best as I can. It is quite annoying. Okay? It usually hits me at night, but I went outside for a quick second, and there it is. You understand? But before we even get started on this mid-afternoon class, I gotta see who is in class. Really, strictly game is in class. First one. Philip Boone is in class. Jason Reels Network, I'm glad you're in class. Uh-oh. Professor Dre is in class. Uh-oh. Election day got her home and in class today. Salute, Professor, for coming through. Versace Broccoli. Matter of fact, Mr. Mac, you asking questions already about my little coffee cough, you get a 55. Yeah. You know where you been? Kelton, salute Bernadette. What's good? Cruddy Dave. Nah, we not giving up on our sisters. Jay, Memphis is in the building. Sham, peace, almighty. What's good? Tierra T. Green is in here. GB, what up? Andrea Jones is up in the spot. My cousin, Sultan Thomas Newark Finest is in the building. Nandi, what's going on? Insubordinate NYC. Mark Milliner. Sunni Blue. Thank you. I take oregano oil on the regular. But you get a 55. Yeah, you ain't been in class. Cool K, what up? Drew, what up? What's going on? Natalie, y'all, girl, you get a 55. Yeah, 3-4 days you ain't been in class. What's going on? What's going on? First of all, I want you all to pay attention to what's going on. What has been going on. And I told you ever since 45 mentioned it, many people have become more aware of it. And many people have began to start using it. You know, what 45 coined fake news was really, excuse me, was really a thing. It was really a thing. Control room salute, right? And we know it is because we are victims of it. Now, how much he exposed, we could go on and on about that, right? But we do know that there is fake news. And it has been going on for decades. It's just now that as technology has caught up and we are able to do the things ourselves, right? We are starting to pick holes in it and see it for what it's worth. Matter of fact, control room sent me a piece today that I used in the thumbnail, and I wanted to make sure that we elaborated on it because in these fake news, in these memes that are created by other people, right? We are easily triggered. Easily. And it's so distracting, right? Because you're triggered that you may go off course of what you've set out to do for the day or what you set out to do for the coming hours because it rattles you. It's like, yo, what is this? Who is this? Why is this here? So they sent, what's been going around is this Pixar animated picture. And we all know that Pixar animation is noted for making some of the most popular and high grossing animated movies of the past decade, right? Like The Incredibles and what was that other one? What was the other one? With the boy in the hot air balloon, Fly Sky. What the hell was that? One of them. Or you know, what was the other one? Did they do Brave? I think they did Brave. All these little animated Pixar joints. So it's one floating around with the title being Slaves. With a person, a melanated person, in the old depiction of what they have put out what slaves, right, appeared and what is supposedly slaves behind him. Now, if you look at it, it's a very, very good copy of what Pixar has done in the past. But quick research check and find out that it has nothing to do with Pixar at all. There's no movie, there's no script, that this computer generated image, is nothing, has nothing to do with the company, and it's really not a real movie. Whether it's animated or not, it's not real, it's not from them. But it's causing grief. Grief. Okay? So now, in that grief, I want you to understand what and why these things have become used over and over and over again. This is a perfect example of a PSYOP and a perfect example on what we're discussing in class today when it comes to the Black woman and how these images are PSYOPs and directly tied to the government to dismantle any conscious or woke movements that have been created over the past 10, 15 years. Okay? The destruction of the image and the destruction of the Black woman and how she moves among her own peers is, in fact, a strategy of our enemies. Okay? Trust and believe. Now let me give you the textbook definition of a PSYOP. Okay? Hold up. Because y'all know I don't like being disturbed and taken off track in class. But somebody got to get the biggest 55 ever. Mahogany Phillips. You get a 55. 55, 55. You failing. Ain't been in class in I don't know how long. ATL Tim. Salute. Now, the definition, the textbook definition, PSYOP. The purpose of United States psychological operations is to induce or reinforce behavior perceived to be favorable to the U.S. objectives. Okay? They are important. They are an important part of the range of diplomatic, informational, military, and economic activities available to the U.S. They can be utilized during both peacetime and conflict. Peacetime and conflict. Are we in conflict? Have we been in conflict? Yes. We, as a melanated nation, is forever in conflict. But the United States Corporation of America is deep in conflict because its ideals, its values, its morals is in the shitter. And they are being attacked on every front. So the most important front is to make sure that the melanated people here do not organize into an effective challenge to the image of white folk. Because once they lose their grip on melanated people here, the world as they know it crumbles. That is the true weapon of mass destruction. The true weapon of mass destruction is the awakening of the melanated mind and how we view ourselves and them. That is the true weapon of mass destruction. So any and every tool available to them, they will be used. And if we are lazy and continuously be lazy in viewing, researching, and understanding these things, we're lost. Okay? So again, in peacetime, we haven't been in peacetime, damn it. I know since I was in the military, there was no peacetime. There has never been peacetime in this space, in this corporation, in this stolen part of the planet. There's never been a peace since Revolutionary War, to the War of 1812, to World War I and II, and all the conflicts, Korea, Nam. Damn it, they even bombed Grenada, ran up in there. This space has never been in peace, ever, because the white man's mentality is not peaceful. He is a warmonger. Okay? So definitely, are we in conflict now? Yes, they are in conflict and they're losing. Their economy is losing, right? Baseball and apple pie is losing. I don't give a damn about none of that shit. Thanksgiving is losing. Okay? So they have to keep on the pedal, the throttle of making sure we are divided. The black man divided from the black woman at all costs. Once those two individuals unite and those families unite and those communities unite, it is total destruction of life as they know it. So again, they continue to do these things. PSYOPs, okay? There are three main types: strategic, operational, and tactical. Strategic PSYOP include informational activities conducted by the U.S. government agencies outside of the military area, which means this shit, social media outside of military arena. Pardon. Though many utilize Department of Defense assets, DOD, Department of Defense. Operational PSYOP are conducted across the range of military operations, including during peacetime, which is destabilizing countries and other governments, assassinations, right? Okay? In a defined operational area to promote the effectiveness of the Joint Force Commanders' campaigns and strategies. Tactical PSYOP are conducted in the area assigned to a tactical commander across the range of military operations to support the tactical mission against opposing forces. Okay? PSYOP can encourage popular discontent with the opposition's leadership. If our leadership, as they have been saying for the past 15 years, have been the black woman and the growth of the black woman in economics, in stability, and in position, right? Position, corporate positions, police positions, military positions, then the black woman is the enemy. Let's repeat, the operational leadership, because again, Y'all been saying that the black woman is winning. So therefore she must be attacked. They felt and they feel that the black man is no longer an effective opposition to what they're doing because they reduced him to being rainbow, to getting his grippers dug in, to making sure that he looks and seeks the grippers of white women and white men to be up under. So he ain't a threat to them anymore. His music is gone. His reset, excuse me, his his ability to reset is gone. He's in prison. He's on fentanyl. He's finished. He's out of the house. He's done. Even his consciousness is watered down. Okay? So therefore, he's not a threat. We bought him off. So we have to view the black woman. Oh, yeah. Huh? Yeah, that should be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people. Okay, let's go over one more time. PSYOP can encourage popular discontent with the opposition's leadership, and by combining persuasion with a credible threat, degrade an adversary's ability to conduct or sustain military operations. Okay, we already know that they lulled black folk to sleep as far as military. They not trying to bust their hammer for liberation. They not trying to bust their hammer for anything progressive in the path of true liberation. They may bust their hammer against each other. Oh yeah, for regular Negro shit. But they not going to do it in a space where it comes directly at us. You may have a few, salute to Michael Johnson, who have some type of direction to where they hope to go, right? Individually, but collectively, that spot is gone, okay? So again, the question, and I've done it many times, the question of using violence to obtain liberation, that backs black folk up because they really believe that they can win without doing that. Okay? They really believe that you can walk, that you can march, that you can picket to liberation, that you can beg for liberation, that you can twerk and give up grippers to get liberation. They really believe that. They don't think about what it really takes. They're not watching real-time wars as they should have been. They didn't watch what happened in Grenada. They didn't watch what happened in Iran, in Iraq. They're not watching what happens in the Gaza Strip. They don't even know what happened in Ireland. They don't know what happened in Vietnam. They don't study. They don't know what's happening in the Congo, in Kenya, in apartheid South Africa. They don't understand that you can't just walk and beg and pray and negotiate liberation. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So they don't understand military operations. You dig what I'm saying? They don't get it because they're not fully woke. Let's go on. They can also disrupt, confuse, and protract the adversary's decision-making process, undermining command and control, right? See, the black man always was thought that he had to control his black woman, that he had to control and control by force and control by no other means than being a brute. Because that's all he learned since he was taking away from his true values, his true morals, his true way of being. But that's gone now. You don't have command. You don't have control. Okay? When properly employed, PSYOP have the potential to save the lives of friendly or enemy forces by reducing the adversary's will to fight. What did I just say? You don't have a will to fight. The church took that from you. Watching so-called leaders get their head blown took that away from you. You don't want that. Willingness to fight is not there. Right? Because you've been conditioned to believe that unity, that networking, that organizing is a threat to white folks, so you get scared. You're not trying to fight. You're trying to tuck your head and just be because they allow you to be. Let's move on. By lowering the adversary's moral and then its efficiency, morale, and then its efficiency, PSYOP can also discourage aggressive actions by creating indifference within their ranks, ultimately leading to surrender. How did they get our people to surrender? And what does it have to do with the black woman? Well, the black woman has always been one of the most fiercest warriors on the planet. Always. Women, period, if you watch nature, are some of the most fiercest hunters, warriors. And when you study war, and when you study your enemy, as I told you before, there's a book that you all need to get and study called Shoot the Women First, which is something that is read by high-level police agencies, lettered agencies, and people who deal with armed struggle on every layer, especially from our oppressors, because they know that if you're ever in a situation where you have people who believe in arms and armed struggle, that if there are women in the fold, that is going to be the most vicious of the adversary. So they have a book that tells you the mindset of these people, that when you come through, you shoot the women first. Now, I don't know if any other platform or if anybody else is going to tell you and explain that to you, but I have to, because we're speaking on black women and how they have been neutralized. They have been reduced to their ass cheeks. They have been reduced to makeup and looking pretty. Now, you can say not me, you can say you can say all you want to. On the majority, this is the truth. This is what's going on. This is how come the PSYOP, this is how come the narratives, this is how come the dialogues, the debates, and the decisions is going so viral. This is how come we have had for the last 6 or 7 years a very invigorous separation between black men and black women. Because of the PSYOPs, because of the ideas that you allow to go unchecked. Now, what does these people who are in the thumbnail have to do with it? Well, because in our space, we have allowed entertainment to become the lead influencer of the people. At one time, it was politics, whether it was mainstream, conventional politics of your enemy, or it was grassroots political stances, like the civil rights era, which was grassroots and then went mainstream, like the Black Power movement, which was grassroots and then went mainstream. Politics was the main influencer at one point because you had nothing else. The conditions were so dire that you had to rely on each other in a political space. So politics at one time was the greatest influencer. Then the spirituality, the church, the mosque. These things at one time were the largest leading influencer on how our people move. Then it became economics and who had money and who was darker or lighter than a paper bag, or whether or not you was hustling, number running, drug selling, pimping, hoeing. Then out of the economics, entertainment took over. Okay? The entertainment industry has now become the biggest, largest, okay? The largest influence of our people. It practically dominates our mental spaces. So, when we're speaking on Black women who have become the primary focus of our people, what she do, how she's doing it, where she's doing it at, our government is very much, and don't you ever think that they don't, are very much the ones, excuse me, with their finger on the pulse of what you see and how often you see it. Okay? What you see and how often you see it. So when we're looking at these Black women, and those of us who come from a specific era, who know exactly what it is we're seeing and how it will affect future generations, we have to speak on it and speak to it. Or else, well, it may be too late. I'm just going to have to put it out there. Not for all, but for the majority of us, it may be too late to prevent the amount of casualties that is going to come from it. Okay? I'm going to keep it 1,000. These PSYOPs, these individuals who are working in tandem with the governmental agencies to push these narratives, to push this image. We're going to push the newly accepted values and morals for you. I've been working so hard, diligently. Diligently. You dig? To make sure that this remains in a space. All right? So now, we're watching young women. And these are young women. When I'm saying young women, To me, anybody, shit, man, 35 and under, for me, is young. We're watching the presentation and the acceptance of young women being reduced to persons that are not holding the value of a regular crack whore, the average crack whore. Not a prostitute, not a whore that's paying a pimp, not a whore, not somebody who people would look at and question whether or not they were doing something damaging, right? Because remember how, at one point, you seen the pimp and his women, and you question, like, what was the harm in it? Especially if they were built statuesque, they was wearing the finest, they was looking good. You would look and, feel it was questionable or bad, but, through blaxploitation and people in the area and people that you see, then shrug your shoulders too much at it, and it is what it is. Now, though, we are looking and we know the damage that life has caused, but now there are women who are conducting themselves with less value than the crack whore, the crack heads, right? The ones we was calling head nurse in the 80s, the despicable, stinking, disgusting individuals that you ran from, that you looked at in utter disgust. These are now influencers. Influencers. Now, that if that isn't a PSYOP for your ass, I don't know what is. If that individual who the O-Face could look at, who Nancy Reagan, who, Tipper Gore could look at and, oh my goodness, what happened to that woman? My God, she's a crack whore? That's what crack does? Who put movements together. Just say no, stop. What are we doing? We got to pour money into these neighborhoods to get these crack whores together because they're having crack babies. And it disgusted, it turned people's stomach. These women are now influencers and they are in charge. They are watched more than any other woman on TV. These women are influencing the thoughts, ideas, and establishing values in the babies of the world. Crack whores. And they are melanated women, black women. And other black women, professional black women, are accepting and tolerating these value systems. Oh, yeah. Because not only are they dressing like them, not only are they listening and performing like them, they are feeding that image to the babies. Okay. Damn, Bliz. Is it that deep? Oh, yeah, it's that deep. Is it complex? No, it's not. It's not complex at all because you're watching it. You're viewing it. You paid attention on a regular basis. Now, can we blame people for viewing it? Well, no, we can't because I wouldn't even be able to give the class this bill if I didn't see it, if I didn't watch it. It is everywhere. When you look at it, you see it, right? When we see Britney Spears acting out and acting up in her we are watching crack whore. We are associating crack whore with how she's presenting. How can we make that association if we don't view it or haven't viewed it in our communities? Okay? Oh, yeah. So I will never sit in this space and be a hypocrite and act like I don't watch it, as if I don't view it, as if, no, nothing can escape us. That is why we are conscious and woke. We look, we understand, we analyze, we take back. Okay? So, can we sit here and act as if we don't see it? We see it. We share the same followers. We share the same apps. So we know what's going on. I don't care if you are a professor of science and math, right? Or if you in sanitation. You see Shade Room. You see Tasha K. You see TikTok. You witness all of this. Why? Because it's everywhere. We don't have to have a TV like we had to back in the days in order to get certain information, because our phones are not only the TV, our phones are computers. Our phones connect us to the universal, right? The World Wide Web. So if we don't intend to see it, we will have to get rid of technology and basically be back in the Stone Age. So we're not going to play the game as if we don't see it. Well, what do we do with it? That's what's important. So now, Black women, because again, we deal with solutions here. But before we deal with the solutions, we have to get into the gut of the issue. Over-sexualization is too weak of a term. Too weak of a term, because come on now. Shit. We've been over-sexualized since the story of Adam and Eve. Please. Come on. That is nothing new. That is nothing new. Shame is what they fed us at a specific time, right? Again, those of you who are Christians when Jesus Christ wasn't, but inherited the belief system from someone, whether it be grandma or mama and daddy, and not really search for yourself to see if this is who you really are. We have been in the conditions of believing in that story and believing in other stories. We're not going to leave the Quran out of it or the Torah. Any organized religion, literally and figuratively, hands-on, or just through thought and beating down your eardrums with messages of abstinence, of spooky, of shame, has an adverse effect, right? Because some may hear it and remain chaste, and others are going to say, I want to know what that other side is like. Okay? So you definitely want to see what that's like. That's why sometimes I don't really want to go into Grippergate. I don't want y'all to start thinking, oh man, I wonder what it could be like over there at the party. And nah. But that's what happens when you continuously speak on and talk of a message. That's why the message I always speak is liberation and our paths to it. I don't want y'all to go to the party. Just a little funny and all that, but nah, don't go there. But when you say it all the time, you create this mysticism about it. So as we're watching these women do these things, and other women feel, well, if I was there, I wouldn't do that. Or if I could go there, I wouldn't do that. That's an influence. That's a peer pressure. So when you see this little young girl, right? And we're going to start with this Jayda Cheaves woman. This little young woman who found it quite hilarious to leave her child in the care of family or caregivers or whatever and go to Dubai and end up being drunk, so intoxicated that you're running around with one boot on. We're wondering what's going on with the parenting. This is a man's child's mother. This man, little baby who we are all questioning whether or not he went to the party, whether or not his grippers was fondled with, whether he fondled grippers, where he's embraced by two old fays with saying, damn, he's out of the picture to a degree because his woman, or the woman who he procreated with, is in Dubai, rolling down sand dunes on yachts or boats in bikinis with her grippers up in the air. And subsequently, so intoxicated that you got on one cowboy boot being drugged through a building. Now, for some, they may think that that is fun. They may believe, oh man, that's a good time. Even in the face of knowing that Palestine is not that far from it, that the Gaza Strip is not that far from Dubai, that if you are into geopolitics, that the whole entire area is on fire right now. But this individual, this melanated woman who is a mother of a youngin', found herself over there and allowed us to see, in order for our women to be influenced with the idea that it is okay. That it is okay for a black mother of a child to be halfway across the world, highly intoxicated and unable to protect herself. Okay? This is the influence. And underneath her own personal page, the comments, you can see it. So we can't say that there's no influence there, because there are women who was in the comments cheering, clapping. Yeah, I can't wait to go. Woo, that's lit. You living the life. Yeah, girl, spend that bag. No one concerned about the welfare of this child who she left. Forgetting the fact that y'all just beg and hashtag and GoFundMe for this sassy trucker, sassy chick who was locked up over there, okay? Just because she was yelling at somebody, because somebody had so much of loud voice, right? And so much of a fear of this black woman that they locked her up. Because in the laws of the land, we know what type of individuals are coming and will violate this law. We know that for an absolute fact. So everyone now is at a different space with it, right? Like, oh, it's fun. That was a little while ago. That those laws are not in effect, really? That we're the other place of where we are is a space of, hold on, wait a minute. People are snatching people up. People are missing. People are disappearing. We got sex trafficking and all type of things going on, right? But this woman, right, this young woman finds it comical, right, that she should be so inebriated that you got on one cowboy boot and really being drug along, whatever lobby or hallway that was there. You couldn't even walk. You understand? And the last time I saw someone that inebriated, somebody who wasn't in control of their faculties to that degree, she walked herself into a freezer. Do we understand where we have to go? Do we understand how influenced people are when they see certain behaviors? It's not always in the negative that I won't do that. Some people are encouraged to do that when they watch foolishness, especially if it's from somebody who people believe is winning and successful because they have money with white faces on it. Because an institution ran by white folks is saying, here, you're next, right? So our black women are sitting there looking and wishing that they can go. I want to go to Dubai too. Forgetting that the average woman that went to Dubai got boo-booed on, right? Because that's what they like to do over there. They like to boo-boo on women's chests. Stuff like that. We forget that might be a purpose for being over there because her man. Do you see the wickedness? Do you see the PSYOP? Her man is winning. Winning because he was real, right? He was real in the streets. He hustled in the streets. He real in the streets. Now he doing music and speaking about that realness even though it's negativity at the highest level. But he won. Why did he win? What was those hugs about? So now that he's winning, this woman who bore a child from him, she's winning too. This is the idea. So now she can go to a place where women get boo-booed on, be inebriated. We don't know how she got to that state of inebriation that she couldn't even walk. Come on now, talk about it. But it's in full view. These are black women. So now we're not the only ones watching. We're not the only ones listening. We have women who are fighting for their lands. We have women who are fighting for position. We have women who are fighting to take the lead, watching this behavior, and have been watching it for a while now. This shit we seeing now is just the apex of it. This is the apex of it. Because they've been watching black women act crazy since Basketball Wives, since the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They've been watching this. We 10, 11, 12, 13 years in on a lot of this shit. And the world has been watching. And black women have been watching too. Consciously and subconsciously adapting these behaviors to a point of which now where you critique black men for saying, yo, what you doing? Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so somebody go get little baby's baby mama and clean her drunk ass up and bring her back to her son. You understand how young black mothers are being depicted? Oh, Bliz, you hot. No, I'm not hot yet. Not hot yet. Because ironically, in the same day, within the same days, we find Lori Harvey, another individual who her generation deems as lit, deems as getting it, deem, oh, that's success, right? this professional fluffer for the industry. Oh, y'all don't know? Y'all don't get it yet? Y'all know what a fluffer is? Since we're in class, there's somebody in the chat. Don't be ashamed if you're a man. Do you know what a fluffer is? Speak about it. Somebody let the class know what is a fluffer. Huh? What's a fluffer? Come on now. Don't act like y'all squares. Come on, Mook. Speak about it. Speak about it, Mook. Don't just leave it out there. Define it so they know what a fluffer is. Yes. Someone in the porn business that gets the man ready, right? Before they had the little blue pills, before they had the V-Rocks. If he was having difficulty, fluff up. Get over there and get that man right. Nah, you ain't in the scene yet. You'll get paid scenes maybe a month or two. Right now, you just a fluffer on the set trying to earn your keep. Lori Harvey is the fluffer for the entertainment industry. She is the one who are putting these men in position to get to the party, to get to Grippergate. Testing them to see if they built like that, to see if they can accept the non-disclosures, to see if they can accept their positioning. Huh? We ain't got to question whether or not it's about the box. There's never been in the history of humanity a box that good. A box is box. That you're going to consistently be with people who are B-list on the way to A-list, or A-list getting ready to get funneled out to B, C, and D. She's a fluffer. But in that action and in the actions of being a fluffer for these handlers of our people is very influential. The style, the trinkets, okay? The demeanor, the movement. When people are impoverished, when people are struggling, when people are living check to check, they are enamored by people who seem to be not struggling in this day and time. So within her age group, within her age group, she's an influencer. And many of a black woman, of a melanated woman, deems her behavior okay. Because in that, there's subsequently people of intelligence, people who are writers, people who sit on television news panels that giggle and smile and give pretty words that have comprehension attached to it, which means other than what it really is and how it's being presented. So they are in cahoots with the PSYOP. They're in cahoots with it because they're not condemning it. In fact, they are pushing these agendas. So there you go. Somebody go get, what her name is, Jayda. Send her ass to class. Then go get Lori Harvey. Send her ass to class. But now, if that isn't enough for you, ooh, let's go. We gotta go in a little bit further. because this is the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake when it comes to the destruction of Black women is the booty hole brown girl. Yeah. I would never ever call her the S word. So booty hole brown red, right? That's her name. Booty hole brown girl red is the icing on the cake. Because in a space where you have election day and nobody gives a damn, in the space where you have Veterans Day coming, no one gives a damn, in the space where you see a country giving billions upon billions of your dollars in order to watch and participate and encourage a wipeout of a whole people, right? When you have that going on, when you have that going on, you have the ultimate. You have our babies, our youth being encouraged, being fed this booty hole brown red, right? Where I just seen a video of her squatting down with a bunch of babies behind her. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th graders. Oh, and they are praised and enamored by her. But watch where we take this. Never mind that picture. Never mind all the things that she's said and done. Let's get to this last performance that she just had. Barefoot and pregnant on a stage. Barefoot and pregnant, when you hear it, you automatically have a thought of where you originally heard the term. If you're of a certain age, you may have read it. If you are a particular age, you know that it comes from white men. And it's a chauvinistic term, which means that it is a term that men who believe that women are less than, are less valued than them, should be in that space. It's a barefoot and pregnant, because if you keep the woman barefoot and pregnant, she could never divorce you and she could never aspire to do anything outside of the home. That is how white men have consistently thought about their women. This is all in their fables, in their stories, in their literature, in their religions, in their governing. We have always been in the opposite. We have always been in conjunction, in unity with our women. That is what Black men and women do. That is our nature as melanated people, to be in consistent togetherness. We learn this separation watching them. When our lens is on them, we pick up these despicable, nasty, vulgar traits, vulgar beliefs, disgusting ways of being. So now we have a young woman in commercial rap, as vulgar as she can be, as XXX rated as she can be. We now find her performing barefoot and pregnant in front of the masses. Barefoot and pregnant, showing the inner thighs, showing her crack. Barefoot and pregnant in front of the masses with nothing on her ass. And people are in utter shock and disbelief. But they're missing the point. She is barefoot and pregnant, and there has yet been mention of who the daddy may be. If I'm wrong, let me know right now. If I'm wrong, let me know right now. If I'm wrong, let me know right now. As a matter of fact, classroom assistants, somebody, anybody, make sure we funding this war effort, because the PSYOP is a war. It's a war. Am I wrong? She's barefoot and pregnant, performing. Who is the child's father? Mook said I'm right. I'm right, Mook? If she's barefoot and pregnant without a father, if she's barefoot and pregnant without a baby daddy, that means this young black trollop, this young black, off, mentally off, this young black girl who is in charge, in lead of commercial rap, is influencing millions of young girls. If this woman, Booty Hole Brown, if she is barefoot and pregnant on a stage without a baby father, without the child's father, then that means that this right here is going to be the commercial rap baby Jesus. And it's checkmate. This is checkmate. She's barefoot and pregnant on stage without claims of a baby daddy. Where did this child come from? This is the commercial rap baby Jesus. And in that is going to be the influence. The influence. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit get real funny. Yeah. It get hilarious. Yeah, it gets absurd. But watch where it go. We didn't think we would be here. When you seen Salt and Pepper, you didn't think it would go there. They didn't even want them to know. They didn't even want them to ever be with child. Huh? Oh, hold on now. When hip-hop was at its apex, you didn't want no woman to even be what? Nah. No. What would happen when young women became pregnant out of wedlock or before high school? It was shunned. They were pushed away. So you mean to tell me that we got to this point after 50 years of hip-hop? And we at this point because the masses wanted that? You think that this is what they wanted? You think this is what Salt and Pepper wanted? You think this is what Queen Latifah and MC Lyte wanted? You think this is what Rod Digger wanted? Jean Grey, all these female MCs, you think that this is what Was the plan? You think the plan was for somebody to be barefoot and pregnant on a stage, half dressed, without a baby's father? Or is this the same immaculate conception out of your Bible, the King James Version? I'm saying. I'm trying to figure it out. Where's the black woman? Where's the black woman? Oh. Oh. So you still think it's cute. You still think it's funny. You still think y'all should be using these songs in y'all TikToks and in y'all lives. Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing. Notice how y'all the only ones doing it. Notice how y'all the only ones that's saying we don't need no man. I'm good. Keep playing. Keep playing. We getting ready to have the first rap baby Jesus. And y'all think that this ain't a PSYOP. Y'all think that this is the natural progression of hip hop. Keep playing. Keep allowing this shit to be the representation of black women, to where you have professors, doctors, lawyers, nurses, truck drivers, police, dancing and grinding and having, we don't even call them baby showers no more. Not talking about gender reveals and playing this music. Listen, I'm telling you, listen, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know it. You know it. Now, Bliz, what's the solution? Well, the solution for me and for what I put out there on my page is to cancel all of them. And I'm going to have to, I don't know, begin a petition, start a GoFundMe. I mean, I have to do it on myself because I don't get supported. I got to figure this shit out because, again, I'm a soldier. So when I'm doing this, I'm out of my element. Of course, I can speak. I can articulate it. Of course, I can write about it. This is not me. It's not what I do. And it's very difficult to maintain when you don't get heard, when you don't get supported. It's very difficult to maintain because I could be in the street doing what I need to do. But this is what I propose as a solution. Cancel all black actors, black rappers, black athletes, all of them. All of them get canceled. So when you do that, because that is the upper echelon, damn what we seeing on YouTube, damn what you seeing on TikTok and IG. You start at the top. Cancel. And what I mean by cancel, it's not difficult. Don't pay no attention. If you following any of them, unfollow them. And you ain't got to go back right after class and no. As you notice that you're following any one of them, cancel them. Unfollow it. Show it no support. Pay it no attention. Because at the top, That's where it's come. That's where it trickles down. The actors and actresses, the athletes, and the entertainers. Because without that, then social media is not as effective. Because as you see, it all is being melted together, which is why you have Cam and Mace doing sports. You have sports dudes like Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes interviewing rappers and shit like that. And they're mixing and melding it because it is a psyop, and it is all owned and ran and paid for by your white supremacists, by your oppressors. So all you have to do is cancel them. Don't pay no mind. Or else, I'm telling you right now, this rap baby Jesus is going to be the checkmate of your people. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you right now. That's going to be it. Checkmate. Checkmate. They were attempting to do it all along. But they never got the right fit. Never got the right fit. Tried it with Lil Kim baby, tried it with Remy baby, tried it with Nicki baby. They tried it here all the way through. Now they finally got it. Because it's somebody who was so effortlessly doing porn and raw dog and all this other weirdo wildness. You can never know who that child's father is. And there's never been a mention of it. Some dudes be like, yo, ew, who did that? No. But in all reality, the concept up here is to push that. And this rap baby Jesus, born of booty hole brown red, is going to be the influencer of a whole generation of pure ignorance. And that's it. That's it. Black women are in charge of where we're going. I'm telling you right now, your men are beat up. I'm telling you that shit right now. Beat up, dogged out, done, finished. Finished. There is absolutely no shame and no accountability for how they move. They're done. Once this takes effect, the hole that it digs mentally and spiritually and culturally, you will be able to see in real time just how toe up our people are. And none of them is going to speak on it. Nobody. They're not going to do it because they're all down with it. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Watch. Every single one of them. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they claim. Conscious, political, woke, spiritual, none of them. They're not telling it to you because they're benefiting off it as well. They're there. They're in it. Okay? So, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. You want better? You got to be more proactive in who you listen to and what you support and what you are doing. How do you manifest yourself? There's a war going on outside. No one is safe from. classroom assistants, as always, much appreciated for holding it down. Much appreciated. Much. Y'all already know when we build. Struggle continues, assistance. Welcome to struggle. I'm telling you, we are on our own when it comes to this shit. We have no friends. So as assistants in this struggle with me, understand that. Don't worry about it. We just got to keep moving, keep pushing forward. Okay? Keep pushing forward. But the way that our Black women are allowing themselves to be presented and how they are manifesting themselves, yo, man, the Gaza Strip ain't gonna be shit compared to what Brooklyn is gonna look like, to what Memphis is going to look like, to what Oakland, Texas is going to look like, Philly, Newark. Y'all are not going to be able to understand how that shit is going to look. Peace.